What's good with y'all YouTube? It's Vibe with Saul or Binge with Saul. I'm uploading this on my Netflix channel. Go ahead and follow everything in my description. Bro, today I'm going to be watching a reaction, reviewing this Netflix show. And I don't know if it's anybody else, but me personally, the ending made me mad. I just don't like those kind of endings, right? And spoiler alert, obviously I'm expecting y'all to have watched this already, but when he just called his dad in that truck and said he think he's gonna change his plea. First of all, I like closure. I like to know what happened after that. I don't want it to just end right there. Like, there's so much stuff that we didn't see, or so much stuff that they left out at the end. Like, what happened in those rooms which made him want to change his plea? That was actually him. Why did he lie to his dad in the first place? I just have so many questions, but let's go ahead and get this. Let's get to this. Surprisingly, I still don't know how to say the title.
Adolescence has just hit Netflix,
Adolescence.
and it's a show that
Okay,
I've been
that
looking
was
forward
not
to from the
what I was
moment
guessing.
that the trailer dropped a couple of weeks back. With a single take shot style, this show explored the different perspectives over the course of a 13-month period where a young girl named Kate was murdered by Jamie, and the impact that it had around both the murderer and the victim. From the students in the school, to Jamie himself, to the family.
Now, I thought his dad was gonna be tied into it somehow, cause that dude, I forgot his name. Literally the first dude we met, the black dude, with the glasses. That was cause he said something to that lady about the dad, and like just wondering if it was one of those things. But yeah, I don't know.
Of Jamie, and also the professionals that were handling the case. This wasn't just a murder case though. This show used the theme of incel culture and toxic masculinity at the heart of the story, and the influence it had on the reason as to why Jamie committed those acts. So with that, let's dive into the show and break down all that there was to take away from it. Here is a review of Adolescence and the ending explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. The final episode's importance. When it came to the ending of the show, what was particularly interesting was that it was kind of like a life after effect in showing how the family of Jamie were living their day-to-day lives 13 months after he was first
and they were
arrested.
still like facing problems.
Even though Jamie was the person who committed the murder and he came from an extremely normal background, we saw that his family were all being tarnished by the same brush as what he was, leading them to ultimately question if they did a good enough job as parents and to wonder if they could have intercepted at any point.
That's just tough on the parents, bro. You always gonna think that when something like this happens.
And done anything differently whilst raising him to have prevented the murder from taking place. We saw how the effect of what Jamie did appeared multiple times throughout the day and caught the family members off guard when they least expected it. For example, when Eddie opened up his birthday card, it was from Jamie, something that instantly took his mind back to then. His van had an insult written on it, and also Jamie called from inside of the...
What did it say? It said noints? Bro, what does that even mean? Your noints? That's an English... Bro, that word is hilarious. If somebody called me that, I would just look at them and laugh. I don't know what that means, bro. It's just too silly to be taken seriously.
Facility later on that day.
And it's all fun and games till I found out the definition.
Interesting about the phone call occurring after arguably the climax of the episode, where Eddie confronted the kids that vandalized his van, threw paint all over the car and threatened the security.
Yeah, he was crashing out.
Was that he was calm, collected, and was acting as if everything was just normal, showing that he was still protecting his son in some capacity, despite the fact that the very reason that their lives were in turmoil and were each individually being impacted in multiple different ways was on the other end of the phone call. We also got to focus on the fact that it didn't take evil to produce evil. For example, Eddie said how his father used to beat him when he was younger, and he made the decision to treat his own son differently. Yet, he turned out to be a murderer.
Yeah,
and
that's
also
tough.
with the same parental approach on the...
Maybe that's why his dad beat him in the first place, to prevent him from becoming a murderer. Ever think of that?
On the other side, there was Jamie's sister, who was extremely normal when compared to her brother, showing that it wasn't necessarily a byproduct of how Jamie was raised. The ending of this episode was one which was extremely bleak, and with Eddie breaking down on his son's bed and apologizing to his son's Teddy. And
now, right here, I thought he was gonna find a knife under the bed. Like, it just, right, that's what they should have done, because you just left so much information out on the table. I just didn't understand what. I don't know.
saying that he should have done better. It showed a side where even the family of the murderers' lives had transformed forever and can live to blame themselves for the acts that their offspring commits. The impact on
I
D.I.
feel bad for
Bascom's
that.
life. One part of the show that struck a chord and stood out to me was D.I. Bascom's arc. Despite leading the investigation about the murder of Kate, we saw that he was also a father that was caught up in work and knew full well that he'd been neglecting parts of his relationship with his son, Adam. As in episode 2, we saw that when he was walking around the school and looking to find information about where the murder weapon was located, his son approached him and was the person that told him all about the incel label, the content that people were exposed to online, and that it was most likely what drove Jamie to commit the murder. It was at the end of the episode after he ran after Ryan and got him arrested where he realized that he needed to be more present in his son's life. This was because a fear almost arrived in his head that if he wasn't aware what he was up to, how he was being treated at school, then he could have ended up like what Jamie did and being driven to the point of doing something that he'd later go on to regret. D.I. Bascom and Eddie weren't all that different, as we came to find out in the end, in the sense that they were both extremely busy with work, which meant that they weren't able to spend a lot of time with their son.
Yeah, bro. I don't even want to be in that position. I want to have financial freedom, so I don't have to get tied up in work, bro. God bless, please. Thank you, Jesus. I pray that you allow that to happen.
And we also saw that Adam was being bullied and called names, just like it seemed Jamie
I'm not letting this kid bully me, bro. What is this? Is he Timmy Turner, bro? What is his haircut? Why is he going back like that? SpongeBob, bro? Y'all know that fish from SpongeBob? Why is it going back like this? Tut Weezy? Come on, bro. Are we serious? Then this, come on. What is this?
So it shows that
straw?
both Eddie and Bascom's
See a
parental
scarecrow, bro?
approaches
I'm not
weren't
doing
really
that.
different. The
I'm not taking
environmental
anything
factor
from
of their
him.
children going to the same school was the same, but there were completely different outcomes, maybe due to the susceptibility to the content that they were consuming and how it altered their minds. Episode 3. Episode 3 could well be the standout episode of the show for me. We saw that Bryony was essentially interviewing Jamie to determine the type of person that he was, and it was in this episode where not only did we see a phenomenal performance by Erin Doherty as the psychologist, but we also saw the true side to Jamie, the evil mindset that he had,
It showed
and the
a
view
lot.
that he held towards women due to him believing that he was unattractive and that it was their fault for holding that view. There were many moments in this episode where we got a true insight.
I was cringing when he was trying to intimidate her, like, are you scared of me? And he was squinting his eyes. Are you scared of me? Why are you scared of me? I'm only a 13-year-old boy. Like, bro, shut up. I'm not scared of you, bro. Look at you. You're scrawny. There's nothing you could do to me, even though you did just murder somebody. Okay. Let me take that back. I'm going to keep that one in my head.
Into the mind of the character, such as when he was stressing about if Bryony liked him, despite the fact that he was taking pleasure in scaring her. Him wanting assurance that he wasn't ugly.
Look
when
how he
she
looking
wouldn't
at
say
her,
that
bro.
He wasn't. Him being derogatory towards women and judging them solely on their looks. And us also seeing that before Kate was killed, he saw a weakness in her due to photos of her being shared around the school. And he ultimately tried to utilize that to his advantage by seeing if she wanted to go out with him, but she ultimately laughed him away. Bryony mentioned herself that she didn't take pride in being the quickest person to give an assessment on somebody, but she wanted to provide the most effective assessment of a character that was true to who they were, and we saw that she got that, as she managed to get Jamie into a place where he felt comfortable and he spoke about the night that Kate died, and he admitted that he killed her. He almost framed it in a way where when he killed her, he could have done anything to her body, but he chose not to, as if that made him any better. The focus on sound in this episode was something that was really strongly executed. The outside noise of the wind and rain.
I wish I knew what she did after this, like what the conversation she had with the people after he said what he said, so we could know.
Often play as tension was getting higher, and
which probably led to Jamie deciding to come clean about it and change his plea.
Then when it came to Jamie actually revealing what happened, it fell silent, and we heard the breaths of Bryony at the forefront of the room, as if to show that she had Jamie right where she wanted him, and she wanted to make sure that what she said next continued the train of confession that he was going on. However, alongside that, it also encapsulated the fear that was running through her body. Hence why at the end of the episode, it almost felt like there was a large exhale from her. Her time came to an end with Jamie in this session, and she was simply disgusted by him, his behavior, his actions, and his views. And that was shown
Ruined
by
your
the
life at
stunned
13 years
silence,
old, bro.
the fact that she needed to take a minute, and also the fact that when she went to pick up the sandwich that he ate, she threw it back down because she couldn't bear to touch something that he touched. showing that throughout the entirety of the episode she was a professional, and then, at the end, her true human side and her views showed. The theme of the show. This series at its core felt like it was about the impact that many different influencers and videos that get created that promote toxic masculinity and the whole mindset of an incel can have on the young impressionable people that consume them. To be honest, I felt like Bascom when it was first being described because I had no idea what any of those emojis meant. But
bro, when I use emojis, I'm not thinking about any of that, and nor am I going to think of any of that. I already forgot what they meant. When I send an orange heart, it's because I'm feeling orange. When I send a yellow one, it's because I'm feeling yellow. I'm not even feeling it, bro. It's probably just the most recent one and the most clickable one. When I'm feeling pink, I don't know. Pink tape. Uzi just dropped. I have no explanations. Anything, I don't know. It's just matched the emoji. I don't know.
At the heart of the show, it was all about the power that a harmless video can have, and the ripple effect of what happens when people are exposed to them. It also
4K, not 4K, but come
control
on.
That parents
they had hard evidence on him, and he still said it wasn't me. Like, come on, bro. We know
have over their children with what they consume and the influence that the school environment can have on the students. One could argue that Jamie was a subject to the external environment that he was in and the content that he consumed. He came from a normal home with loving parents, as we saw, because Lisa didn't turn out to be a murderer. So it really did show the power that content can have. Indoctrination is a thing, and like we've seen throughout history with many different agendas, people are able to get indoctrinated into a system of beliefs, whether right or wrong, through the use of content per se. And it felt like this show put a focus on that. My review of the show. I thought this was a really good series. I don't think it was this masterpiece like I'm seeing many other people saying, but I think it was a really
yeah, I have heard people saying it's a masterpiece. I don't know. I guess you just have to have a different mindset on it, but it made me more mad than anything.
Powerful piece of television that got its
I do understand what he's saying, though.
Across in a way that was extremely easy to digest. It was very creative and it was impressive to watch.
Listen what the comments are
making
saying.
This all single take shot style was a smart move. It allowed the tension to be ever present whilst the story was unfolding, and in a show that felt like there was mystery at the heart of it, this was something that was amplified further through that technique. Stephen
like, come on, he said the same thing. Ending was crap. I thought the dad did it, hence the Noints, and that he let his son take the rap. Like, I'm telling you, when I forgot, I think it was the first episode. It was the first episode. They said, you think the dad did it? And the dad was acting kind of weird the whole time. I just don't know. Why would you think the dad did it when they literally showed CC? Yeah. After that, I thought the dad did it up until that point. I didn't even think about Noise because I don't even know what Noise means. But I thought the dad did it I thought he had something to do with it at least. But, something. Come on. It was just crazy. And Jamie, I still believe Jamie when he said it wasn't him. That's even what's worse. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this series. Did y'all like it? And what did you get out of it? Anyways, love you guys. See y'all in the next one. Make sure to subscribe. And then recommend me any other Netflix series. I will watch it. I wish on Twitch I could probably stream me watching some episodes, but I can't post it on YouTube because it will get demonetized. Not even that. It won't even let me post it. It will get blocked. But I will review it. So let me know any series. I'll check it out and then make a review video like this. Love you guys. I'll see y'all in the next one.